I'd like to call the meeting to order. Begin with the flag salute. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of the public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Sussex-Wantage Regional School District Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the school building and notice of said meeting sent to the New Jersey Herald and Charlotte.
Sussex-Wantage School Mission Statement. The Sussex-Wantage Regional School District is a responsive, caring, child-centered community. Our mission is to educate each individual to become a confident, competent, lifelong learner and productive, responsible citizen by providing challenging opportunities in a safe environment through a partnership of families, schools, and communities.
At this time, we'll do the certification of the election results. The results of the November 7, 2023 general election are as follows. For a member Board of Education for Wantage Township, 3-year term, Caitlin Space, 1,447 votes. Stevie Vallone, 1,274 votes. Nicholas D'Agostino, 1,034 votes. And there were 24 blank votes. At this time, the new board members and our incumbent will do the oath of office. I
Nicholas D'Agostino, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and of this state, under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, Nicholas D'Agostino, do solemnly swear or affirm that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for office of the member of the Board of Education, and I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1, or disqualified due to conviction of a crime or offense listed in NJS 18A:12-1, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations. Two open seats, you guys can decide who wants to go where. At this time, we're going to take a roll call. Mrs. Chiquini? Yes. Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Mrs. Deli? Here. Mrs. Simmons? Here. Mrs. Space? Here. Mrs. Tortorella?
Yes.
Mrs. Vallone? Here. Mrs. Whitty?
Here.
Mrs. Lobarri? Here. We have a quorum.
I'd like to nominate Stephanie Tortorella for president.
Okay. At this time, we'll take nominations for board president.
I'd like to nominate Stephanie Tortorella for president.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations? Okay. Mrs. Tortorella?
Yes.
Or I'm sorry. Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Mrs. Cicchini?
Yes.
Mrs. Deli?
No.
Mrs. Simmons?
Yes.
Mrs. Space? Yes. Mrs. Tortorella?
Yes.
Mrs. Vallone?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
No.
Mrs. Lobarri?
Yes.
The nomination is approved. At this time, Ms. Tortorella, you can come and then you'll need to take motions for Vice President. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you everyone for I would like to nominate Mrs. Cicchini for Vice President.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Do we have any other other nominations for vice president?
I would like to nominate Dorothy.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Any other nominations? Okay, on the first nomination for Mrs. Giacchini as vice president, Mrs. Tortorella,
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino,
Yes.
Mrs. Giacchini,
Yes.
Mrs. Deli,
No.
Mrs. Simmons?
No.
Mrs. Space?
No.
Mrs. Malone?
No.
Mrs. Whitty?
No. I'm very sorry, can I, what are we voting on?
We're voting on Mrs. Giacchini for vice president.
There was a nomination for me, correct?
Yes, but the nomination for Mrs. Giacchini was first.
Okay, all right. No, then?
Mrs. O'Barry?
No.
The nomination is not approved. On the nomination for Mrs. Whitty for vice president, Mrs. O'Barry,
Yes.
Mrs. Malone,
Yes.
Mrs. Giacchini,
No.
Mr. D'Agostino,
No.
Mrs. Deli,
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons,
Yes.
Mrs. Space,
Yes.
Mrs. Tortorella.
No.
The nomination is approved.
Okay, yes, sorry. All right, congratulations, Mrs. Whitty, on your position as our now vice president. We will move on to the report of the superintendent of school.
Thank you. I'm going to report out on district happenings at our next meeting this month. I would like to take the opportunity to congratulate all the newly elected board members. I also want to recognize and congratulate newly elected Senator Parker Space and Commissioner Director Jill Space. Thank you for being in attendance and congratulations.
Next, we're gonna move on to the audience remarks. Members of the audience are invited to make brief comments about matters of interest of the district. Is there any public comments? Seeing none, I just would like to say to everybody that thank you for this opportunity. I have high hopes for this year with the district. There's a lot of things going on. Lot to look forward to. Again, congratulations, Mrs. Whitty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. At this time, if anyone's got nothing else, I just wanna also say congratulations to Stevie and to Mrs. Space and Mr. D'Agostino for joining us again this year and for the first time this year. Alright, that's it, that's all I have. I hope everyone gets home safe, drive safe, and we will see you at the end of the month. I would like to make a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Alright, meeting is adjourned.